morning, Rabbi Isai. Welcome back, everybody.
Not everybody. There's a lot of people who haven't come back yet.
Wow. So we'll start with this. A new sponsor for the Shabbaton. It's never too late. $18,000 from the Palachuk family. Plus the foundation, plus they did a perek in the new Masechta, plus others are very, very nice. Yishkoyach Golem Moed, warms the heart.
Fills the wallet.
This is by Tzali Forking's wedding.
You do it twice.
Yishkoyach. We had an email here. I just want to see. First of all, real quickly, this is in front of the Shimi Braun's Matzah Bakery that burnt down to the ground. Ein Oid Milvade. Put up a big sign. Ein Oid Milvade. Beautiful. Teaching us Emunah and B'tachan. Dear Rebelli, I'm attaching a picture of my brother-in-law, Ephraim Silverberg. Ephraim Shragi Ben Blima from MDY Lakewood as he's undergoing angiogram. A few weeks ago, while learning the daf, he's scheduled for septuplet, I don't know what that is. Baruch Hashem, I don't know what that is. Seven bypass on Tuesday. Refuah Shleima Mazel Tov to you. Zorach Spira, who's a Magchir, Passaic, New Jersey, should have a Refuah Shleima. Muncie firefighter, Duvid Hoffman, doing the daf. I guess I'm not 100% yet. The daf at 2 a.m. by the Chanukah Lecht after finishing battling a third alarm house fire in Muncie. Here he is, Mamish. I think he's the guy, you know, he's the famous kid from the video. Duvi Hoffman, that's his name. I did this myself, then I went back to the beginning of Shas. He wasn't putting on tefillin, I think it's him. Maybe it's his brother. Okay, but there's where do I want to get to? It's been a while since I've written, but I remain committed to doing the daf every day. 3.5 years now. From Ksubas, Baruch Hashem. Rabbi Straczynski has like this online poker thing, whatever it is. I haven't heard from him in 3.5 years.
Mark confirmed it's him.
What?
That was the guy.
It is him?
Yeah, it is him.
He looks a little different from the side. But today, you took the idea of committing to a whole new level. A few hours ago, into the day today, I said to myself, wow, Rebellion must be really unwell. Life she was given by Rabbi Yedidia. And lo and behold, I'm just skipping around there. 11 p.m. rolls around, and I see that somehow, some way you did it. That is, she got posted. In the past, you've said I'm a slave to the daf, but you're also human. But kids are, but truly unique and special ones, the goats. They somehow find the inner koiches in the merit. The first time in 3 nights, I'm doing chazar and watching the shir now. First time he's doing chazar. First, and all I can think of is, wow, this is the Michael Jordan flu game. I got to tell you, no, Rabbi say seriously. I did something yesterday for the Olam here in the room because I have tremendous hakaras to the guys that come live every day, day in, day out. Sacrifice. I said, okay, you know what? I got to do something for them. And it was one of the toughest things, only because of the outcome. I had the flu yesterday. It started Motzei Shabbos. I guess in the middle of Shir, I started getting the shakes, and I thought I had to throw up in middle Shir, so they brought me a bucket, and they said, if you throw up, it'll be one of the best rated Shirs ever. So I said, okay, it's a great idea. It's a good idea to continue. And then when the Shir was over, I couldn't even walk home. I said, you know, I can't miss the Shir. I can't miss the streak. So I gave a Shir middle of the afternoon, but then I had to do the next day. And I couldn't think. It was difficult to learn. So I pulled the all-nighter. I learned all night with fever, with this constant cramp in one place that didn't go away the entire night. 6 o'clock, I delivered it in Hebrew. 7 o'clock in English. 5 minutes before the shir here, 5 to 10 minutes before the shir here, I said, okay, that was kedai. So the oilam here that comes here, they should have a live shir. And lo and behold, I found out afterwards that the guys here didn't even get to see the shir. I was so depressed. I was like, I never stayed learning with flu. And the guys didn't even get to see it. So whatever. I had to give one back to you. You should just know I did it. For you guys. For you. Because I love you.
Thank you.
Because you deserve it. What a pleasure you'll have it, brother. May Hashem grant you swift full revolt shlema with love and appreciation. Your Talmud Rabbi Krasinski, Karei Shomron. Well, I understand you might have gaiva considerations about publicly reading the email, along with the potential issues mentioning Michal Yarden. I feel that the benefits would outweigh any possible negatives. I hope Talmidim get to hear these words as they and your incredible commitment will surely resonate. Rabbi Krasinski. Martin Freeman. As Baruch Hashem Zoich once again to do Good Morning Rabbi Sayah on the slopes he attached. I must tell you a big thanks. It doesn't sound like him, it sounds like me. And I never missed a day since Baba Basra, 543 days. Unbelievable. Big shout out to Ari Chaimowitz, satellite location in Borough Park. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Big shout out to Ari Chaimowitz's satellite location in Borough Park. Really enjoyed getting together with MDY people in the satellite location in Borough Park. First, let me show you this.
Good morning, Rabbi Sai.
Okay. Okay, he said it's him. And here, Rabbi Say, check this out. Ari Chaimowitz satellite location in Borough Park. Good morning, Rabbi Sai.
I know. Hanukkah was tough. The donuts, the Hanukkah parties, the schedule. Plenty of reasons why not to join or miss.
Or they call Spirit Course.
But guess what? Now it's right after Hanukkah. And you are personally invited to come join us every single day. The chabura, the excitement, the environment.
It's only in Borough Park you think they wear those things during the week. Only place in the world.
Come join us today.
What is it called? Abi? Kuchman. No, in Borough Park, yeah? In Muncie? Muncie?
You don't realize Rabbi Forst here has been davening for you to get better.
Shalom Aleichem, wie heißt du?
Afterwards, Canvey Island.
Canvey Island. You're not the first guy from there. I met like at least 5 people from there that do the daf.
Well, I've been here 4 times.
That explains it. So there's only 2 people. Minus 4. But you looked different last time. What? You had a smaller beard? You came with the kapelich. You came with the kushmir.
No, I think in London is the only place where people are ashamed to wear kushmir. In Borough Park, they're not ashamed.
Right, but they don't wear it in Eretz Yisrael. I've never seen it in Eretz Yisrael.
You don't need to. It's not so cold.
Because it's cold inside the Bismedish over there by Chaimowitz. Sure. They turn up. The heat never goes off in that shul. I guarantee you. You go in there 4 a.m. Here it is, Borough Park, second location. Here, Mendy wants to know where it is. Look at the screen, right over here. Kahal Lidas HaTzedek, 109 Clara Street. That's out of town, Clara Street. Where is it? Off, here. Yeah, off 36 and 13th. That means it's mamish outside. That's on the border. Anything past 36 and 13th.
Right around the corner from the market.
Yeah, so it is in Borough Park. Oh, sorry. Fine. Fine. Rabbi Sai. Oh, we got to do I forgot, there's something called the Masechta sponsored by David Sal. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Bleich. Who else do we have here? Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Neil,
From? Woodmere. Shalom Aleichem. And this is?
I was here with grandsons. Shabbaton.
You're the guy that's flying in special to the Shabbaton. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
David Sander.
How did you pull that off? You convinced you. How many daf did you do with us?
Since Horus.
Since Horus. So your parents said, okay, we're going to set, I'm serious.
You didn't say no, but...
Because they didn't have the money, Chacham. They had to, start borrowing and stuff. This is unbelievable. No, Bemis. Parents, they're spending money, buying a ticket, buying a room, to be machshav Torah, to show their kid that this is chashuv to them, that they appreciate. You know, this over 50 people trying to get in now. People booked rooms, the double book. Don't answer the mamish. We don't have a single room to give. But you got a room? You're in. Who are you going with?
For a roommate. Him and my father.
You're taking him? Yeah. Wow, that's a good zaidi. Shkoyach. And your father. Wow. Very impressed. Kol hakavod. You see, I almost didn't say hello to you. It's b'schusim that I said hello. All right.
Maso and Slayton Yeshiva. We do this year after.
You do the shir every day in Slayton's yeshiva. He told me about that. Shir Gimel, he said, does it. Shir Beis. So what's the name of yeshiva? Let us say. He's a little scared to say. This kid, Slayton, came over to me at that event that we did in Matzah Shabbos in Bnei. He says, my yeshiva, we all get together at night. We all learn your shir. We have a screen and we do the thing in where's the yeshiva? In Bnei Brak?
No, Sanhedrin.
Sanhedria. Very nice.
Oh, he's the one that has the place in remote.
And he's the one that does the remote Chanyan over there in the mall, and he's the head of the satellite kitchen. Very nice. Okay, the Masechta, beautiful. He gave me a lot of chizuk. Masechta sponsor, David. By the way, if you come over to me at the Shabbaton and I don't recognize you, don't get insulted. It happens to everybody. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? David Talman, dedicated memory of Imari, Shmuel Baruch, Reb Chaim Tzvi, Doi Zechron Lebracha. Masechta sponsor anonymously, Nishmas Dodi Shlomo Yehuda Zechron Lebracha, and Shmuel Chaim Zechron Lebracha. Sheshokav and Loma Kochim Kol Chayav. I'm not going to forget this kid. There's no way, right? His name is the Zechron Nishmas Nachum Tzvi Ben David, sponsored by Sky Capital, in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshi Shlavrak for the devotion to Torah study and the Shir. Joel Gedalius, leading Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous, that's Lach Baruch Nisu Kashmiz. Co-sponsors, Anonymous from London, Parnos B'Shefa. Anonymous. Baruch Adlidai, Baruch Tzvi Nisim Ben Shoshana Leav, Yehuda Ben Yom Ben Chavos is a multi-sponsor. Anonymous from London is a multi-sponsor. Parnos. Ari Simon, multi-sponsor. L'Refuah Shlema, Avi Moiri, Baruch Ben Miriam. Daily sponsors, Binyamin Kar, Ateres Golda. Oh, Moshe Kar's birthday, keep steiging, make us proud. He's the guy that gave us the hall a number of times. We had over 1,000 people one time, and then another 800 in the second one. Anonymous, in honor of Gershi Rose from Soita, then to the schus of Zevachim now. From Soita then to the schus of Zevachim now, I think it's supposed to. Anonymous, in honor of Gershi Rose. MDYR, Refuah Shlema Yonatan Eitan Ben B'Sheva Bracha, Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther, Refuah Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Ayel Dester. Lamaisa, we have one of the best videos ever. Unfortunately, it's all the way at the end of this year. You gotta wait, you gotta be patient. Maybe I'll show it in the middle and finish. But the Israelis like, you keep on building it up. Is it really, we're not gonna, the other one's laughing, is a very geschmack. So listen, this is Mamish. After Shir yesterday, people came over and Mamish explained beautifully. Listen to this. If a person his father's nifter that day, could he bring a korban Pesach at night? Korban Pesach, if you don't eat a korban Pesach, it's Issa Karas. Karas, it's one of the only two mitzvahs. What are the two mitzvahs in the Torah? You can't answer, Benny. What two mitzvahs? Right. Bris and korban Pesach. You don't eat korban Pesach, Karas. Person buries his father, that night is Pesach, could he eat the korban Pesach? We have a contradiction in Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. On the one hand, he says he should eat. On the other hand, it's in the Bryce, he shouldn't eat. What do you do? So we have a bunch of tirutzim. Today we're going to see 3 new ones. Let's go through what we learned yesterday. Simple stuff. Rav Chizda says, Kedin Azba. It's a mistake. It's not a mistake. It was just thrown in there, derech agav. Because korban Pesach always goes together with B'char Meiser. So we said, B'char Meiser Pesach. It was just, the Tan is used to saying Pesach. He wasn't serious. The real halach is, you're supposed to eat a korban Pesach at night. Shema Yisrael. That's Rav Chizda. Next. Then we have Rav Sheshes. Sheshes is something very simple. He says, you're supposed to eat a korban Pesach. He also agrees, you're supposed to eat a korban Pesach after you bury your father. It says he shouldn't. It's not talking about a korban Pesach. It's talking about something called the Chagiga. We'll just go through this because whoever didn't see the shir, it's kedai to see this once in a while. There are 5 korbanos a human being, a person should bring on Pesach. So if Mashiach comes this year, Be'ezer Hashem, you have to remember, don't just bring a little sheep and think, I'm yoytze with my korban Pesach. No, there's a lot more that you have to do. You have to bring oil asriya. Every time you go up to the Beis Hamikdash, Rabbi, I remember this. You heard in Daf Yomi first. Go out and get that extra carbon. You got to bring a special oila. Hello Hashem, I'm here. I'm here to see you. You bring another carbon. And here, this is the one we're talking about right now. Chagiga Yudalid. Special carbon for Erev Pesach. What's Pshat? Pshat is because you need to eat meat. You need to be l'soiva. You have to fill. On the korban Pesach, typically you have 20, 30, 40, 100 people in one carbon. Everybody gets a bite. So, but you need to be a kezayis, or at least a kezayis. But you can divide it up by many people, and sometimes you do, and you have a large family. You're not going to start shechting 25 korbanos. But you need other meat, so you bring a chagiga yudalid. And then you also bring a chagiga tasvav, and then finally shalmi simcha, that's not naget ha'asugi. The only one we care about is this one, chagiga yudalid. So he's saying that because it comes together with the korban Pesach, it's to fill up your body in order to eat the Pesach, so it has somewhat to do with korban Pesach. So in that, you should know that, by the way, since you are not you, he is an oinen, he does not eat, he doesn't shech the chagiga. That he can't do. The Karis one, the Karvin Pesach, that he should eat, not the Shalom Chagiga. Next. And now finally we're holding by today. So in order to understand today, we don't have to understand it, but I want to make it very, very simple. A few very important things here. First of all, let's do something simple here. There are 4 categories that we're going to be talking about. They go in order of extremity, what's the word? Extremity? In what? Severity. Severity. Good, that's a better word. The day of the death of a father, mother, a close one. Obviously, number 1, that's the worst. The worst of the worst. That is aninos in the Torah. That's like Aaron HaKohen. He's the oinen the day his kids died. Yom Misa. There's something else though. It's called Yom HaKvura. What's Yom HaKvura? Yom HaKvura, the day that they bury the dead. Here in Eretz Yisrael, you have it all the time. A nifter comes from America, comes from France, England. It's not the day he died. It's usually the following day, 3 days later. Yom Shmuel. Fine. Yom Shmuel is the day a person heard about the nifter. Now, in our sugi, we're talking about within 30 days. But that happened after the war, after the Holocaust. People heard that a loved one was nifter, and it happened 6 years ago. That day, what do you do? Is there aninus that day? It's much less than the Yom HaKvura, much less than, certainly, than Yom Misa. And finally, there's Yom Likud Atzamos. We're going to be talking about all 4 things today. What's super interesting about today's daf is like a lot of new stuff. Nothing difficult, but new. A lot of new musagim. Likud Atzamos happened in the time of the Gemara. They would put the body into a cave. That was the minhag. Put it in a cave, and then come back like 12 months later and just gather all the bones, put it in a small box, and bury the box. That's how they did it back then. So it's Likud Atzamos. I forgot which one of my friends, I don't even remember, but he told me that they buried his father in America during COVID, and they really wanted to bring him to Eretz Yisrael, but they couldn't. Remember, they couldn't bring bodies and all that. So they buried him at night to bring him. It happens all the time. People told me in France, the government takes the body out after 7 years and I don't know what they do. So they have to bring bodies over here all the time. They bring it here. We even have the picture of. Look at this. Watch this. What? In Belgium. Look at this quickly because it's going to change. This is the Chida. Yoshi changed it to color. They brought the Chida here in 1960. So, okay, so that's Likud Atzamos. That's even lower than Yom Shmuel. Fine. Rameir Shapiro, yeah, they exhumed his body. Okay, Rameir Shapiro. V'chulu v'chulu. Now I want to show you something else. Boys, we have to remember, there's two things that are pashat. There's no machlokes about these 2 things. Yom HaMisa and Yom HaKvura. There's no machlokes in this Rabbi side. Oinen b'Yom HaMisa, when a person hears that his father died that day, it's that day, he's there, that day, he sees his father, nifter, Yom HaMisa, there's aninos that day, it's midoraisa. That's in the Torah. That's by Aaron HaKohen. No machlokes that what? During the day, it's doraisa. What about that night? What about that night? So that night, it's either exactly like the day, the midoraisa, there's aninos, or it drops down 1 level. And it would make it what? A night would be the Rabbanan. Now let's go to Oinen B'Yom Kvura. We're going to do it again. We're going to repeat. Oinen on the day of the Kvura. So he died on a Sunday. They bury him on a Monday. That day. Aninos, special halachas that you don't put on tefillin, you don't do mitzvahs. Oinen. Everybody agrees, Rabbi say, everybody agrees that it's the Rabbanan. It's not even a question. Everybody agrees that that day is only the Rabbanan. What about the night? We're going to do the same thing that we did by the Yom HaMisa. Either it's exactly like the day, that it's what? It's the Rabbanan. or we're going to take it down one step, and it becomes what? Nothing, 0. So now let's see. Oinen on the day of the Misa, according to everybody's Doiraisa. Oinen on the day of Kvura, according to everybody's Dorabana. Now what about Oinen b'yom Misa, Belayla of the Misa? What do we say? It's machloikis. Either Doiraisa, it's the same as the day, or we take it down one step and make it a Dorabana. And what about Oinen b'yom Kvura? Machloikis. Either it is Durabanan at night or nothing. Okay. After, yeah. Because it doesn't matter. After the Kvura, because night and day, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Says the Gemara. Okay, so now that we know this Hakdama, it makes a lot of things easier now. What?
What difference does it make if it's
We'll see. In the Gemara, we'll see. Because if it's the Rabbanon, here, if the Chiyuv is the Rabbanon, so we can understand, if the Isser to be a Einan is only the Rabbanon, to act Ba'aninos is only the Rabbanon, so do Rabbanon have the right to say, you don't eat a Karban Pesach even though it's Karas, we don't want you to eat it. How could they do something like that? Today's Sug is Karban Pesach, yes. When we'll get there, we'll see. Although, this might be the only time in Shas, or one of the only times, no, there are a few other times, that Rabbanan do say, they take it on the shoulder and say, you're not going to eat a Karban Pesach now. We're geyser on you not to eat a Karban Pesach, even though it's a Karas, it's very severe. But for the most part, not. Okay, so now we're going back, simple stuff. We're going to see now 3 more explanations of this contradiction in the Brisa. In 2 Brisas. One Brisa says, Reb Shimon says that a Oynen, somebody who lost a close one, eats a Karban Pesach at night. Reb Shimon says he does not. Lo kasha. Top of Kuf. Rav Mari Omar, Lo kasha kansha meis lo meis bar ba'asar, ukvore bar ba'asar. So now, that I showed you the first slide, there's Misa and there's Kvura, and that's his distinction. That's all he's saying here. There's a bunch of words here. But he's saying it depends when he died. If he died Erev Pesach, then you don't bring a Karban. You don't bring a Karban Pesach that night. Why? Why? Because the night is like the day, and he's a Einan at night, and an Einan cannot eat a Karban Pesach. Ukvura bar ba'asar. The Kvura was, we don't care, but he died Erev Pesach. Forget about the Kvura. Kansha meisli meis b'shleisha, so he died the day before. Ukvura bar ba'asar. Now it's much less. Now he was only buried Erev Pesach. He's buried Erev Pesach. And the Gemara explains, he died on the 14th of Nisan. That's when you bring the Karban Pesach. Rav Mari holds, we didn't have that shita yesterday, but he holds that night, the night of the Misa, is like the day of the Misa. And that means what? That he's a Oynem Midoiraisa, and an Oynem Midoiraisa does not bring a Karban Pesach. He doesn't put on tefillin that day. He doesn't bring a Karban Pesach that day. But what if he died a day earlier and the Kvura was on the... Now there's a lot of halachas about Kvura, right? We're not going into them. A lot of halachas, a lot of Avelo starts by the Kvura, certain things start by Kvura. I think there's a whole nida, and we're not going to get into it. When's the yard side? Is the yard side here, the yard side there? Different things, I don't know. Fine. But if the burial was on the 14th, Rav Mari's of the opinion that there is aninos that night, but only the Rabbanan aninos. And if there's only the Rabbanan aninos, that doesn't push off the current Pesach, which is Karas. Rav Mari. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit into this. And if you don't like this teretz, then we have a brand new sugya coming up in a few minutes. How does this fit into what we learned? Over there in that brisa, Reb Shimon that we're discussing the contradiction in his brises. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai says, Teida, he tells him, we said that a Einan should dunk in the mikvah. We had this yesterday and eat a Karban Pesach. But you're telling me that Reb Shimon is talking about the day of the burial, not the day of the death. the day of the burial, which is only in the Rabbanan. Avalei b'kachim. He eats a Korban Pesach. So Rabbi Yehuda should answer him, I'm talking to you about A, and you're answering me B. I'm talking about a deraisa, the day of the death, and you're answering me the day of the Kvura. This is the deraisa. Obviously, Adim Kvura the Rabban. Kasha. Okay, so it's a good kasha. Next teretz.
They could both be right. One could be because the first year goes after the other Kura.
Yeah, but no, it's not. It's not if what it goes after, what it doesn't go after. What happened? Was it on the day of the Misa or the day of the Kvura? The day of the Misa is a deraisa, the day of the Kvura is a derabanan, and if Reb Shimon is talking about the day of the Kvura, then how is he answering Reb Yehuda, who's talking about something else completely? Next teretz. Abaye Omar, I love this teretz, and in fact, Rava says something almost the same thing, same idea. Listen to this. When do you have to bring a Korban Pesach? By Chatzos of Erev Pesach. So he says a chap. He says, what if the guy died at 10 in the morning? 10 in the morning is before Chatzos. So the son became an Oinen. If it became an Oinen, it took effect. He cannot bring a Korban Pesach the following hour. What if, he's already an Oinen when the Korban Pesach came around. But what if 12 o'clock came, it's Chatzos, let's call it 12 o'clock, he has a chiyuv to bring a Korban Pesach. At 12:05, his father dies. Too late. I have a chiyuv to bring a Korban Pesach. It went into effect. Like Kashi, can't you make koydem Chatzos? Can't you make lacher Chatzos? The brayso that says you have to bring a Korban Pesach is because he had a chiyuv. At Chatzos, he had a chiyuv, and his father died after Chatzos. The brayso that says you don't have to bring a Korban Pesach is because his father died early in the morning, and he became a oina before he had a chiyuv. Can't you make koydem Chatzos? Can't you make lacher Chatzos? Chatzos leichaz lepesach ha'le'aninus. Chatzos leichaz lepesach le'aninus. And how do you know the Shonei koydem Chatzos ben lacher Chatzos? How do you know you have to say such a svara? Oh, so now we have a very simple Gemara all the way to the bottom. Famous Gemara, the Sanya, Lo Yitama, Mitzvah. And actually there's a story here, a little bit of Agadta. Yishmak stuff. It says in the Pasuk that a Kohen has to be Mitama to his mace. Mitzvah. What does mitzvah mean? To an American person, I'll tell you, when I read it, the Israelis didn't agree. They said it's Pasha. What does mitzvah mean to you? That you have to or you could? You can. What else? Have to. Because you're looking, you're looking at the big Gemara. What do you say, guys? What do you say? Mitzvah. What does mitzvah mean to you? Okay, yeah, that's what the Israeli said. Fine. Me and you are Americanish. No, they're right. Mitzvah means, I thought mitzvah, it's a mitzvah, it's a nice thing to do. No, mitzvah, you're mechuyev to do it. What does that mean? So a person has a dead person, his wife is nifter, he's mechuyev. He has to go and make a funeral. He can't be a tzaddik and say no. What do you mean by tzaddik? We'll see in a second. If he doesn't want to, they forcefully take him and throw him in there. Says the Gemara, there's a story with Yosef HaKohen, who his wife died on Erev Pesach, and he didn't want to become Tomei. The boy said it happens to us a lot, where we have like a battle between two mitzvahs. Well, what should you do? And so the idea is that you don't go after your own ratzon, your wants. You have to go with ratzon Hashem. What does Hashem want? So here he has a situation. He wants the Mamish wants to eat Korban Pesach. He wants to eat Korban Pesach, but his wife is laying dead over there. So he calls up the Chaver Kedisha. You take care of her. I need to be tar, because if I touch her, then I can't eat Korban Pesach. Then if I go to Levaya, I can't eat Korban Pesach. What does Hashem want? Not what you want. I understand you want to be all the yichudim that you have and everything with the Korban Pesach, but what does Hashem want right now? That's the shaila. Like it happens to us all the time. Like the marshal, you want to go to the daf, but your wife wants you to do something for her.
I honestly have no idea which way you're going to go here.
So of course you want to go to the daf. The shaila is, what does Hashem want at that time? Hashem wants you to go to the daf, of course. So then your Ratzon and Ratzon Hashem line up. Finally.
Calling yourself Hashem.
No, any daf. I don't learn Torah. But listen to this. You know what's interesting? I love this because unfortunately I sat Shiva, and during Shiva you hear some of the silliest remarks. So you're mamish lucky that your mother didn't die like my brother. I mean, the way he got ran over and this, and kids. So, but one of the things, it didn't happen to me, but one of the things, people read shidduchim to the husband, like the day after. It's uncomfortable. What?
This guy came to us and did it.
He did it by you. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to wait till after Shemi Kad Menacher. And I understand that you're crying right now and you're bitzar. But Lamaisa, I have to do what I have to do. It's uncomfortable. But the Gemara says a story like this. The Gemara says a story about who? You're not going to believe it.
It's a mitzvah, Pasha, to do shidduchim.
Yeah.
There's no choice.
It's a mitzvah. It's a contradiction in the mitzvahs. What's Ratzon Hashem here? I think Ratzon Hashem is that I should tell you about this shidduch right now. Yeah. So, but listen to this Maisa. It's the story in the Gemara about Yosef HaKayin. On the day his wife died, this is the Yosef HaKayin. That at his wife's funeral, he looks at his wife's sister, and he says, "No, and he says, "You're in charge of the kids." And from that, and they got married at the funeral. But the Gemara says that he wasn't misyachad with her for a very, very long time. The Gemara doesn't put him down. The Gemara says that fakir, that was what he needed at the time. That was Ratzon Hashem Bemes. That was Ratzon Hashem that someone should take care of his kids. But this is the same Yosef HaKayin. In Mayit Katan, those who remember. Call upon him.
You have a video.
Oh, we do have a video. V'nimnu echo v'akoyahanim v'timu. They made a vote, and they said, no, you can't put it on somebody else. You have to become tamei and deal with your wife, and therefore what? Rabbi, what's the punchline here? And therefore he could not eat Korban Pesach. But what if I show you in a brisa that says he should eat Korban Pesach? So we have a contradiction, and that's what the Gemara is going to do here. Just this short little video. This is not the one I'm talking about, Rabbi, so don't get excited. Isha Sarah Cohen.
Why are you not going in? It's your wife.
I still need to bring my Korban Pesach.
What do you mean you need to still bring Korban Pesach?
Look at his face.
Moira Boisai.
Okay, Kitzer. They were timing him on purpose. Right? So they shoved him in there and he became Tamei. Very good. So now is the problem. Very mini. But here's the contradiction. Ula choisai. So I'll show you real quickly. Here, I'll say the words and then I'll explain to you why I'm showing you. Sometimes they show it and I forget to tell you why. Ula choisai. It says by Nazir, Ula choisai. And his sister, he should not become Tamei to his sister. Mat tamad loymar. What do you mean mat tamad loymar? It says that you should not go to the levaya of his sister. What's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. Here's the problem. Because in Pasuk Vav it says, Kol yimei haziroi Lashem al nefesh meis lo yavai. If you read the Pasuk and you stop right over there, it's obvious you cannot go to a sister's levaya. When a person is a nazir, you can't go to her levaya. You can't go to a father, you can't go to a mother. It says al nefesh meis lo yavai. It doesn't say, oh, but if it's a sister, yes. And the problem is, why does it say in Pasuk Zayin, la'aviv u'li'imay la'achiv la'chaysam? Why 4 words? And the Gemara basically says from all these you learn, we're going to see soon, basically the same limud, just each one gets stronger and stronger. So what do you learn from la'chaysam? Person is on the way to bring his Korban Pesach, or to give a bris milah to his son. Why is he going to give a bris milah to his son? Says Rashi is interesting. You think he's just going because, like I'm going Beis Hashem, just in case you didn't hear, I had a grandson in Florida, so I'm going to be going this for Shabbos. I'm going to try to come back as quickly as possible. Leaving as close to Shabbos as possible, coming back after Shabbos. Person's going to get to a bris, so he's going to a bris, that's why. No, says Rashi, he's going to the bris because he wants to bring a Korban Pesach. Because you cannot eat a Korban Pesach if your son doesn't have a bris milah. And you cannot eat a Korban Pesach if your slave doesn't have a bris milah. It's monea you from a bris milah. So,
from Korban Pesach.
what? What did I say?
From a bris milah.
Yeah, it's monea you from Korban Pesach. So, if he's on the way because he's trying to do something for the Pesach, and he heard that somebody in his family died, you think that he should go to the Levaya? Amris lo yitama. It says Mefurish, that Yosef Kohen is right. Yosef Kohen should not become Tameh. He should eat the Korban Pesach. It says Mefurish in the Brayso, lo yitama. Oh, perhaps if you find a body on the street, nobody's dealing with it. That's different. We're going to see that these 4 words, I'll spoil it for you. All the way to the end of the Amud, same thing. La'aviv, u'limoy, la'chal, are all there to tell you that a meis mitzvah, you find the dead person, even if the person is a kohen, even if the person is a kohen gadol, he has to be mitamet to the meis mitzvah. Meis mitzvah is the number 1 thing, you deal with it. I could say the story from the Ma'aseh Shahaya that Rabbi Peter told. He knows the person. Remember? Rabbi Leader, I mean. I said, that I'm looking. Rabbi Leader, remember the Ma'aseh with the meis mitzvah? They put him in the trunk. He took him to Borough Park. Yeah. The Ma'aseh was in Manchester. No, I'll say the Ma'aseh real quickly. I didn't say it in at least a month, maybe a year. There was a guy was in some, I don't know where. He got stuck. He didn't have a hotel. A whole long story. He decides he's going to go into a nursing home. Maybe they have a room there. So they tell him, yeah, we just emptied out a room. In other words, one of the residents went bye-bye. And he finds out that the resident has like a Jewish name. See, Jewish name. He says, what are you going to do with it? He says, we're going to burn it. We're going to, cremate it, whatever. He says, do me a favor. Could I deal with it? So they say, yeah. Kitzer, he's in Iowa. He takes the body, a Jewish body, he puts it in his trunk and drives. It's not a good idea. I'm not, because if you get pulled over, Kitzer, he gets to Brooklyn and he goes to the Chaver Kiddush. He says, I have a meis mitzvah. You got to deal with it. So Kitzer,
It's not suspicious at all.
No. So they said, what's the guy's name? He says he tells him the guy's name. He says, you're not going to believe it. Rabbi Leder knows the guy's name. He says, you're not going to believe it. This guy, for years, would send us money to pay for meis mitzvahs in Borough Park. Anybody that didn't have money for a funeral, this guy used to pay. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu was megalgal the whole thing.
I wrote it.
You said the story.
I think I wrote it a long time ago.
I said it a long time ago, but what was his name? Do you know his name?
Not the person who the master happened with.
Yeah, what's his name?
Adler, that's out from Manchester.
Rabbi Shloimeh Adler Zatzal from Manchester. He's the one that took the body into the trunk.
I heard it from Dayan Dunner, the story.
Dayan Dunner. Okay, so weiter. Talmud Loimar. Oh, sorry, where am I? Oh, Yochel Shem Sheli Dam Lachoysi Kachem Mitam Lemis Mitzvah. Maybe a Meis Mitzvah, you should also be a big tzaddik and not touch. Talmud Loimar Ula Achoysi, because it's extra. Lachoysi Udenim Tama. You only don't go to your sister's Levaya. Ava Mitama Lemis Mitzvah. You got to deal with the Meis Mitzvah. Says Gemara, what's the pshat? But we have a contradiction. By Yosef Kohen, they made him touch his wife. They threw him right over the fence into the Levaya. And over here it says, you shouldn't make him tamei. Obviously, the only way to answer this up is to say before and after Chatzois, like Abaye said. Now what? When do we say that you should eat a Korban Pesach, you should not become tamei? Is if his father died after Chatzois. His chiyuv was, so by Yosef Kohen, how come they made him touch? Because it died before Chatzois. So the chiyuv of his wife came before the chiyuv of Korban Pesach, and therefore they made him touch. Yeah. The pasuk is talking about Nazir, and it goes also to Kohen. I don't want to get into it. It's complicated enough. It's called Imenin Lezeh, Nein Lezeh, Ayin Sham. The point is that whatever happens by Nazir happens by a Kohen also. Maybe both these stories happen after Chatzois. Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Akiva. It's just a machlokes tanoim. Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Akiva, the Sanya, Lo Yitama Rishos. The Rabbi Shmuel learned the pasuk Lo Yitama. If he wants to, He could. If he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. Rabbi Kiva, Mechayva. Oh. So Rabbi Kiva, so Yosef Kayan, HaKayan, that they forced him, goes like Rabbi Kiva. They held like Rabbi Kiva, you got to force the person. The Brisa that says he doesn't have to be forced, he can eat the carbon paste, it goes like Rabbi Shmuel. Says the Gemara, that's impossible. Why? The whole thing is Rabbi Kiva. You can't stick in Rabbi Shmuel all of a sudden in the middle. You can't say it goes like Rabbi Shmuel. Why? How do I know? The Sayyid Rabbi Kiva, we're going to see this whole long thing, which is super simple and almost repetitive, but it goes like Rabbi Kiva. Nefesh, Elu Krevim. By a Nazir, it says Nefesh. So a Nazir does not go to any funeral, even his relatives, Meis, Elu Rechoikim. In other words, it starts with Rechoikim, obviously. He doesn't even go to strangers. He certainly, and even close relatives. Laviv, Einu Mitama, Mitama Lemeis Mitzvah. And the word Laviv comes to say that he shouldn't even go to, he should deal with the Meis Mitzvah. Li'imai. So what do you do with the mother? Hayakayim Nazir. What if he's a Nazir plus he's a Kain? So we just added another layer. He's not only a Nazir, but he's also Kain. Li'imai Einu Mitama, Mitama Lemeis Mitzvah. He should deal with the Meis Mitzvah. La'achiv. What do you do with the word La'achiv? Shemai Kain Gadol Vu Nazir. Oh! Top of the top. Even the highest level in Yiddishkeit, a Kain Gadol has to, and he finds a Meis Mitzvah, he must deal with him. Lachiv Shai Kain Gadol Vu Nazir, Lachiv Vu Delim Tamam Tamam the Meis Mitzvah. Well, Achaisai, what do you do with the Achaisai? He's on the way to do Mamish, the two mitzvahs that have a Chiyuv Kares. You think that he should become Tommy? No. Gewaldig. Says the sponsor Daf Kuf. Oh, because it's a brand new teretz. Good. We're mamish holding. Turning to the Daf. Adar Global, special experts in international payments. What happened? You bullied your way. You bullied everybody out of there. Just you. Unbelievable.
It's more than welcome to come.
Says the Gemara Daf Kuf on the base. Rav Amar. Rav says a very similar teretz to Abaya, the same kind of concept. Very simple. If they already performed the shechita and the zrikas hadam on this carbon pesach, and then his father dies, so he already was yaitz of the thing, so he goes and he eats. He eats the carbon. He already did most of it. But if they didn't start the process yet, there was no shechita, no zrika, and his father dies, then no, you don't eat the carbon pesach. So if it's true that they shechted, they already mekayim the mitzvah. You already brought your carbon. Relax. What do you have to eat it for? No? Anybody? Does it bother anybody? Why?
You have to eat it.
You have chiyuv, but you already ate the mitzvah by bringing it, and there was a shechita.
He doesn't get chorus now.
חבר'ה. אי אפשר לדבר שמה. כדאי לצאת החוצה.
The chiyuv is to eat it, right?
What's that say sheesh per cars?
What?
That say sheesh per cars is that chiyuv.
Again?
What's that say sheesh per
Oh,
cars?
so whatever you're going to ask, the Gemara is going to talk about. Why does he have to eat it? No, you must eat it, because if you don't eat it, then what you brought the carbon and you shechted it is zero. It's not enough to bring. It's not you to have them. You weren't yoyt to anything.
They won't get chorus though. Once they were makiv, they won't get chorus. That's the big.
I don't know about that. It says it's makiv. Makiv means you're makiv.
Once he gets it.
I don't know what you're reading.
After that krova, there's no.
Okay, by me it says it's makiv. Omar lei. Sais might come lacharabach. So Rava tells Ravada Bar Masna, you should hear what he said. You listen to what he said. It's perfect what he said. Ravina was right. Ravina said, if you don't eat it, then you're not yoytza. He's right. My Ravuna. What does it mean? The Sanya. Yom Shmuel ki Yom Kippur l'mitzvah. Okay, so let's go back to this just so the item doesn't go. Check this out. What do we have? We have Yom Misa and Yom Kippur. So far, the day the person dies, the day the person is buried. Yom Shmuel. I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but I heard about Avremi. He's a Kayan and he was an Einan just the other day. So they found his father. It's very interesting. They found his father on Friday, Erev Shabbos, which is the 6th candle. But they walked into the house and they saw that he lit the 3rd candle. I mean, he was in the house for 3 days. He fell or something. He fell and nobody was there. So there's the day of the death and there's the day you find out of the death. Rashi says that Yom Shmuel over here, we're talking about not Stam Shmuel after the Holocaust. I heard that the father died in 1942 and now it's 2025. It's within 30 days. This is Shmuel Kroiva. It's close, like I've read, close by. What?
He collapsed on the 3rd. You don't know when he was nifted.
Exactly. That's the problem. I don't want to get into that. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows. I think he hurt himself bad because there's like he got a concussion or something. What happened after that? Did he wake up and not? I didn't speak to Avremi yet. But anyways, so the day that you hear about the death is like the day of Kvura. In other words, you start the Shiva, you start Shloishim, there's a Isser Rechitza. I discussed this because if I was part of the Sanhedrin, I would make a new takana that for Hilchas Avelos, Avel, every single chasana that they invite him to, he must go. Because one of the best benefits of being an Avel is you don't go to any chasana. No simchas. What do you mean? I'm an Avel. A lot of people, they fake it for 2 years straight. No, it's not over yet. It's not over. What are you guys laughing? You know that I'm right? They should say every bris and the worst, every shalom zachar, you have to go. If you every kiddush, you have to walk the whole zach. Anyway, it's fine. But there's shiva and shloishim. There's an isser. This part is a shtickle shver. For the whole shiva, I don't know if you know about it. There's no shower during shiva, no shoes. Right? Okay. This you just to understand these words. When you hear about a mace, what happens to the Korban Pesach? You hear, somebody hears that his father was nifter 3 weeks ago. Okay? He's on a cruise somewhere, he's on a safari. He comes out of his safari and says, oh, you didn't hear? They buried your father 3 weeks ago. Now what? And it's Erev Pesach. He's back for Pesach, mamish in time for Pesach. Should he eat a Korban Pesach? So it says that the halacha is kiyoim likud atzamis. That's the same halacha as the day that they gather the bones, which is not that severe. In other words, that he goes into the mikvah, he does a tefillah, and he eats Korban Pesach. Not only Korban Pesach, he eats all korbanos, which is even lighter. Now, echad zeh, just pay attention to these words now, because we're going to use it later, not a big deal, but echad zeh means the day of the burial and the day of likud atzamis. He dunks in the mikvah and he eats kachim. So when it says Hagufa Kashya, there's a contradiction here. Amris, on the one hand, you say Yom Shmuel Yom Kfura, Lemitzah Shiva V'Shlosh. On the one hand, you say that the day that you hear about the father's death that happened 3 weeks ago, because I'm saying it's within 30 days, that's the day you have to start Shiva right away, Shiva, Shloshim, everything. But for Korban Pesach, it's lighter. It's less. Why is it less? If Achilas Psachim would be like Yom Kippur, it would be different. The day of the burial, then of course you don't eat. It's only like the day when you hear about a dead person, it's like a day of gathering the bones. That's why you're allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. Because if it was like a day that of the burial itself, then you don't eat. You don't eat. So what I see from here, the day of burial, you don't eat. And then, wait a minute, it says even the day of the burial. We explained. Means even the day of the burial. This is incredible. The day of the burial, think about it. A guy goes to his own father's levaya, he watches the kavura, dunks in the mikveh and eats a Korban Pesach that night. So the Gemara is going to answer that Echad Zeh doesn't mean the day of the burial. Echad Zeh means something else. That's the Gemara's attempt. But Akopanim, it says over here a contradiction. On the day of the burial, do you eat the Korban Pesach or you don't eat the Korban Pesach? On the one hand it says yes, on the one hand it says not. Yeah, if Kachim, certainly Korban Pesach. But we're talking about Korban Pesach here. Kachim is much easier. Yeah, okay. But I'm saying even kachim. Fine. Okay, I don't know what to do with this. It's machlokes tanoi. When does the Jewish calendar start? At night. So if they buried him on Sunday evening, mamish before Shkia, that's day 1. Then comes sunset, that's day 2. It's another day. That's why you're allowed to eat. Hold on, I'm not there yet. Everything happened right before Shkia. That's why you're allowed to eat the following evening the Korban Pesach. It's another day. It's a different day. But if they bury the person after Shkia, so the whole day is part of that day, and therefore you cannot eat. So Mela, we're saying that the Yom Shmuel, the day that you hear about the death, is like the day that you gather the bones, and you're allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. Now, even though the Aninos over here, this is where Rashi says, even though the Aninos over here is the Rabbanon, but Chacham in this case, they became strict and they said, we don't care, you're not going to eat the Korban Pesach in this case, even though this is the Rabbanon. Lachash Chama asked the Gemara, but the bottom line is, we're coming, forget about everything, we're coming for this line right over here. Lachash Chama, we're talking about if they gathered the bones, you're saying you're allowed to eat the carbon. Why is he allowed to eat it? He already shechted the carbon. Why should he get to eat it? He already is mekayim the mitzvah. On that, we're going to say, no, you can't just be yotzei by shechting the carbon. I just want to say real quickly. I don't know. It was like maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I don't remember when. It was on Shabbos, and I bumped into Yoshi on Shabbos. I said, "Do me a favor, on Motzei Shabbos, I need you to make a certain chart, and I would like to see it in cups. Take this cup, we'll put over here, and on top of the cup write this. You need 6 cups. You go like this, like this, like that." I tell him this whole thing, and he's like a little, okay, I think I understand. And then I look down, right by my leg, right by my foot, there's 6 plastic cups. 6 plastic cups. I count them again, it's mamash 6. This is exactly what I wanted to show. So I take out the 6 cups, I put it, and I said, this is mamash like Zhgacha Pratis, Shein Kemayu. So I saved the 6 cups, and I asked Gershon to get me a piece of plexiglass, the guy that made this, and he made it. I'm mamish getting it one of these days, right? Gershon, when?
I got to go to Yerushalayim to get it.
Yeah, he has to go to Yerushalayim to get it. Okay, somebody in Yerushalayim could send it there. Lamaisa, I'm walking today in the same exact spot where I found 6 new cups. Mamish. Same amount, in the same exact spot. I don't know. It's mamish the same spot. So there's somebody going around putting 6 cups there every so often. Next. Ravashi Omar. What's the shayk of the sugya? So, time out. I want a time out. It has nothing to do with the sugya. I just found it today on the way to the story. I wanted to share the Zhgacha Pratis story. But I'll tell you, this has to do with the story. This is really we're not there yet, but let me just show it because it's already done this year. This is the video I was talking about, done special for MDY for today's shir, which is the sugi coming up, that Rebbe says that aninos lasts until you bury the person. Okay, here goes.
I refuse to die before I finish the entire Shas.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm on my way to finishing the Shas.
The angel of death knocked on my door. He said, "Uncle, pack your bags, you're 104. But I told him no. You listen here, son. My learning schedule isn't done. I got a cigar in my mouth. I'm sliding down the chute. I'm reviewing the Daf in my bathing suit.
I've finished all of Shas.
Put down your siphon, the spooky shoes. I'm meeting Ollie on the MDY
Benny, by the way.
It will take
And
us
that's Yossi
40
Klahan.
days to reach the shore.
Schaskes a teure.
Turns out I still owe myself Daf Kuf in Zevachim.
All right, are we done? Should we do another line or two? Hold on, let's see where we're holding. Hold on, are we middle? Let me just go. Let's just do two more lines. Rav Ashi Omar, Ma echad zeh ve'echad zeh. Oh yeah, we're mamish in middle sugya. Echad zeh ve'echad zeh. The whole kasha was that echad zeh means Yom HaKvura, and it seems like on the day of the burial, you do. It's a contradiction. On the one hand, it seems like you do eat a korban pesach. On the other hand, you don't. No, echad zeh achi kamar. Echad yom shmua ve'echad yom likat toiva va'oichel b'kachim. No, it's not on the day of the kvura that you eat. It's the day of the likud atzama, is when you gather the bones, which is much lighter, the day of the shmua. Says the Gemara, Rav Ashi Bedusi, it's a mistake. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about the Yom HaShmua. It says Zev Zeh Mebarile. The lashon is not good. If it's like you, it should have said Zev Zeh, and not Echad Zev Zeh. El Shmamino Bedusi, it's a mistake. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.